PS5 reset itself to give me a very necessary system update. Pretty sure we saved. Alright, let's start getting this fucker finished up, man. Not gonna lie. I just have to come back. not at the stream, but not a big pullback on this one, I gotta say, man. But it is what it is. It's still fun enough. And since we're not doing any more bullshit and we just get nothing but the highlights, start fresh with ZX Advent. See how that is. I think we need to go to E. I was watching some X4 again. That game's pretty good, man. Crazy how good the X4 looked, too. I don't remember how powerful the DS is, but X4 looks way better in this game. I mean, not that this game has bad art design or anything, but sometimes I forget how clean X4 was just all around them. Zix Crimes. Gex Crimes? I should play Gex. I wonder how many references I'd understand. Probably 90% of it would go over my head outside like the movies. Like any pop culture would be like impossible to know because it's so many decades out. Shouldn't play Gex. It's not high on the list, but there's some good. Smooth music. That's a good song. It's like a fucking Digital Devil Saga song. Or like a Persona 3 type of song. Guy hates Gex, man. What did Gex ever do to you? It's been Gexed. Direction I'm supposed to go, or what? Like I came in a weird way. Who? That's weak. Guy just has the same. He's an asset flipping the guys from the last game. That's alright. Okay. Oh, we dodge an even quicker version. New tack. That's when they do the air one, I've got to dodge under. Weird having the same boss, but like completely different moveset. They're like kind of similar. Like you want to do certain things, and then they're just like, nah. Right? Stop trying to do interesting things. Play the basics, man. Some of these attacks, I just have no idea. I guess you just want to be close so you can get underneath. Kind of just like a counter for playing in a range. Maybe. Like maybe you could actually dash into the corner and juke him. Probably it. They're like a fair few amount of Gex games too. I don't think it's like a small series. They're mostly 64 PS1 gen, I think. Oops, thought I was playing the green one. The last health upgrade is in this stage somewhere. I couldn't tell you where exactly now. I loved the knockback, bros. It's me rock fucking solid. Straight into doom. I'm a big fan of enemies I have to wait for to hit. Overall, the enemy setup in this isn't too bad though. There's a lot of them. You definitely, the stages are higher deaths than the bosses. Sure, but... Vector Man? I think I played the first Vector Man game. Was it on a Genesis, it's like a collection? Like a Sega one? Not Sega. Yeah, Sega. Who knows if I really finished it. One of those where I was doing achievements for a collection and I'm pretty sure you could just dabble in it and then you got them all. Yeah, I mean I might have. I don't remember. No, I mean I remember what he looked like for sure. Who could forget the eponymous... What was his name? Yeah, no, that's not eponymous. Is that the word I'm looking for? Vector Man. There's a couple of Vector Mans, isn't there? Or 3 of them? 1, 2, 3. If I'm going backwards or this is new. Hard to say. Stage has been going for a bit. Gotcha. Are those worth a run through? One that, like, I feel like, you know, if you know your shit, you know the name, but not necessarily a series I'd call well played. Oh, that could be worth in its own right. Especially if it's, I mean, they're probably short considering the time frame. Yeah, let me take a peek. I'll just put it on the general list as something maybe to do. Having like a nice 2D platformer, retro or otherwise, just to slide in occasionally is not bad. Yeah, I don't have it in here. I have played it, but I don't think I ever got or beat it. I think that was one of those like achievement ones. How do you even like get through? This is such a weird jump. It's probably one of these moves has some weird shit. This isn't the tank, is it? Or the health, is it? No, it's open totally. Just keep moving them. I don't want to do anything extra and beyond just getting health. Where are we anyways? I'm back in I-1. I feel like I'm actually fucking going backwards right now, dude. This game likes to have like a couple different paths through shit. sometimes just for funsies, and then you can find yourself going like backwards. Yeah. Time to restart the whole thing. As long as we don't have to fight the dragon again. This isn't the worst level. Yeah, I've only been on for like 10, 20 minutes. Honestly, kind of surprised how long I've already been up. A little tired. When I slept a good bit today, but I slept kind of weird. 2 different chunks. Do we get the power back on? Maybe destroy that guy, turned it on. Maybe that's the gimmick here. Slow fall's not that slow. Seems funny with like how much effort you have to put into getting like character like data sheets. like a paragraph of like really basic descriptions on the character. E33, what the? It's gone now though. How do you feel? I can't really think of anything beyond the stolen Star Wars sound effect. My brain's full of desire to protect an important IP. Ooh, buff, I messed up. Got another boss? Bros, not the same. Or does he? Boa. Urbosa's Zelda. Boa. Oh, you mean Ikea. That's Boa or longer Oa. I would recognize what we're talking about if I saw it again. Stardew mods. I would say, does that game really need it? But I guess it depends on how much you come back. I mean, okay. It's interesting how much a bow is and other stuff too. I don't know if that's just all from Yuminiki or what. I guess, huh? Oh, yeah. I love Yuminiki. That's fucking peak. E23, dude, the prequel. More random jackasses sitting around, dude. Please. I don't know if this game's just cheap about health back, or if there's just like, the enemies are just extremely numerous and aggressive in this. I guess I'm being kind of reckless, too. There's the life. So the only way to get that is to apparently wait to beat the boss and then come back here. I don't know if they'll let me. I'll have to run through this whole stage again, but you have to raise this up. wise. It just doesn't go high enough. I don't know. Stardew is one of those, like, I mean, maybe that's just me personally. When it comes to like modding the base game, augmenting it, but Stardew in particular, I just think it's such a tight experience. There's already so much going on, and I'm sure they've added so much since. One of those where I was like, oh, much desire. But then again, I haven't played it in a long time, and generally I'm more interested in like ROM hacks and stuff probably than like content add-ons. Yeah, I'm sure there's some crazy stuff that the game's so popular. Yeah, exactly. It's like, I mean, like a Minecraft type of deal. I feel like Minecraft's just more of a platform that makes sense for me to... Not for me personally, but just like, it just makes more sense to be like a... forever modded type of thing. It's always one more. Well, I mean, God, there's plenty of knockoffs, but that's the thing is like, Stardew's big thing is not like with Minecraft. It was really unique. Sure, Zachtronics and them did like, or Zach or whatever did like the thing that Minecraft was based on, but like there was like novelty to Minecraft that I think has still like stayed pretty strong. But Stardew's not really novel. It's just like really well done. So it's like kind of like with modding. It's like you know. Does it fuck with like the quality and like the feel and all that shit in a way where it's like kind of not Stardew as much anymore? I don't know if I would care about something trying to like experiment with Stardew. Play a different farming game. But I'm sure the mods are great. I'm sure there's some stuff that's totally awesome and worth it. It's kind of like me. I just have a little less interest in it. Kind of deal. What kind of stuff do they do? There's got to be some interesting shit, I'd imagine. Whoa! Teleports behind you. Put a cog. Nice hair. I think games like that too that are constantly being like majorly updated by a dev who's good, right? With Minecraft, it's like you're getting like fucking modern Mojang and Xbox, you know, making a buck off it too. I can get not being as interested there. What the fuck is going on, dude? You're gonna stop doing the tornado? Combat. Escape 3. Enemies, quality life. Mini games and festivals. Yeah, I can see that being cool. Marriage candidates, that's the one, the most obvious one. The one I care about the least too, but like I said, when I played, I didn't do any of that. I did everything else to the max. Never touched the fucking marriage a single time. I was the fucking true Sigma grind set farmer run. Only thing I loved was nature. Related to the contact damage. The tornado moves fucking annoying. Super long fucking damn wind up. Not wind up, but just lasts super long. Tough to dodge. Multiple times you can get hit, so iframes aren't really that helpful. I mean, we could probably find a weakness here, but I'd rather just do it that. Not that I'm gonna get the high level. You touch it once, yeah, I feel like you lose an entire level on the yeah, so there it is. I think just one hit probably puts it at like a lower level. I think now would be like level 2. Seems like it just stays level 2 for quite a while, but... Oh no, level 3. So 2 hits, at least on this one, was fine. You can get it to start at level 4. But you must have to never hit it. It's a weird system. I guess to explain it, the idea is that if you hit it at a certain spot or with a certain weakness, it damages the biometal. The biometal being the power you get from the boss. Which, all that means is you have less ammo. And you can fix it, it just costs crystals. That's the only thing the crystals are for, so it really doesn't matter much. But I guess it's kind of like a cute little way to like mastery it. And you can go back and refight the bosses, surprisingly. And then I guess get a chance at higher rank on them. You could just also go buy the ammo. But the thing is, like, who cares about the fucking ammo? In every Mega Man game except maybe Classic, and like, ammo is just doesn't matter. Children. I forgot you could have kids. Or is it like the kids in town or some shit? Fucking around doing stuff? I assume it's more like a family thing. Welcome back, Ace. It's vague. Gotcha. Oh, yeah. Oh, really? So he hired someone to do full-time big updates. That's cool. Cause isn't that game pretty much solo game for the most part? I assume he wants to, or maybe not, move on to his chocolatier game or whatever. But Big Starjuice kind of forever game anyways. Team now, yeah. That makes sense. Oh, no wonder there's so much coming out. I'm gonna go back and get the loot before they like warp me out. I'm guessing that team just works on all of his projects though, not just Stardew, if that's the case. Or is he just talking personally? Well, of course, if I want to go back and get the fucking health, I have to go through the entire fucking level backwards and forwards. Jesus. Fuckers just can't help themselves in this game, man. They're on a mission to make it the most tedious fucking game. Yeah. Yeah, blame the game. I enjoyed it, getting a little food and watching a couple of vids. Blows is probably a little... maybe too much. Only maybe. I definitely, it's one of those weird ones where it's like, clearly there's like good stuff, but like it's good stuff that's fighting for air. That's a lot of fucking not so good stuff. And is the good stuff like really good enough, right? To like warrant some of the bad shit. But yeah, you're not wrong. Definitely mine not changed too much. I was saying at the beginning of the stream, I was like, kind of hard to come back, honestly, a little bit, man. It's a good time, but I'll definitely not be sad to see this one go. I'm curious to see how Advent is. You just took all these mechanics and the levels, I mean, even though they're pretty aggressive and sometimes a little annoying. Not quite like Z2, kind of annoying, relative to Z series. All these games are totally way better than most of the X games, levels and everything, but relative, right? Oh yeah, I see it back there. You can't like float for very long. I don't think you can like reapply it. Oh no, you can float as long as you want. I must have let go earlier somehow. Then just internalize it. You couldn't. Like it didn't seem right, but I don't remember what I was doing. But yeah, if you took it all, and I mean, like I said, you make it a different game essentially. Definitely benefit, but how many have I played by the end of this? Oh, there's 8 X games. Then you get the spin-offs and remakes. So I've played 8 X games. Extreme 1 and 2, Rescue Mission, the remake of 1. So that's 12 X games. Oh, and Dive, the Gotcha. 13. I think that's all of them for X. 4 Zero games, 17, and then 2 ZX games. That would be 19. Quite a few. Which does not help this game's case, mind you. Being extremely right off the cuff of all the Zeros and the X games. And you know, well, this one mixes it up from the Zeros a bit. Well, I mean, it's still got the Zero DNA, and those are all played about the same. Now, granted, the Zero games are good. I would even say 3 and 4 are very good, but I mean, maybe some of it won't click with some people, but they're a good time. But there is a familiarity or you're like playing. I mean, I've taken a lot of breaks, you know, I've done little indies here and there and stuff. I don't play them to force myself. I even put on this one that this one's not a marathon, the Zero series one, just to not feel any compulsion. But, so that has something to do with it. That's something to think about for sure. Like, you know, might have an exposure level or a recency, like, you know, a freshness to these. Like, I'm not tired of playing them, mind you, or this kind of game. I mean, I'm sure I'll take a break, but I'm still thinking about playing like classic Mania soon. Maybe not, I don't know, but that does matter, right? It's like if you just haven't played a Mega Man in a year or two and then you play this, it's like you might be willing to forgive the map stuff a little bit more. But I have none of those. None of that. I've got plenty done, plenty recent. Yeah, quite a bit. I mean, I'd even thought about doing the Legends games after this. So that'd be 3 more. Those are super different. I mean, as far as the 19, I would say only one of those was very different. And that was Rescue Mission. They're supposed to be like, I think 20 a pop, maybe less. And then Misadventures of Tron might be like half of that. Not too bad. Probably like a touch longer than one of these ZX games, but maybe not even that much. Like, this game is like long because it's super tedious. But the amount of actual content here is really not much more than 03. You just fucking rerun through 90% of it like 20 times. Why can't I get that treatment right now? I'm ready to go, warp me. Okay, gotcha. Yeah, we'll see how I'm feeling. I mean, I'll probably throw in like an indie or something else in between. Hell, I might even do one after this game, honestly. We'll see how I'm feeling, if I just want to finish the fight or... Because, I mean, ZX Advance is long, if not longer than this. And this has been longer than most. Not in a good way, either. Granted, I'm not 100%ing any of these lately. Not worth doing. He says too generic. Textbook NPC line. Throw away NPC lines, but then you talk to him a third time and he's got a fucking quick charge chip. Nice asshole. Money do I got? those games seem chill. I don't know if they're hard or anything, but there'll definitely be a different speed. And then that would be pretty much every Mega Man game outside Battle Network that I've wanted to play. So, could be cute. I mean, there's probably your stray Mega Man Classic spin-off Freak games. I don't think any of those are like ones I'd really want to like play for their own merits. It'd be more like an oddity, like the fighting one and the soccer one and shit. I think that's something I would do like after Star Force and Battle Network, just to be like, well, here is like the relatively full Mega Man like take. Might as well spend a day just doing weirdo Mega Man games. The chosen one. Sure. Straight into the finale. So I've never been to the M area. Don't tell anyone. Going. Okay, what is in the M area? If it's like some hidden boss, I don't give a fuck. I like it. I'm ready to wrap her up. Underground. Oh, that is where we're going. Never mind. What is the, what's over here, though? Maybe it's gonna be like a really long finale, we'll see. There's supposed to be, why I say that? There's supposed to be some hidden fight you can do against, like, Omega in this. I don't know if you have to have 03 data. I picked 04. You could pick either. Like maybe you just don't get the fight. I don't really care. It's like a new game plus form where you can play like Omega 0. It's so funny how slow the sub tanks fill up if you don't have overflow. Like overflow doesn't work. Starbound character? Okay, he's goofy. That's one of the cool things about this game is every NPC has unique art and the sprites and stuff. Like, they put in some effort there. Stop the dig. Yeah, I get what you're saying. It did have like, he did have like an energy. I've not played Starbound, but I know what you mean. I'm gonna run through the all of A again. Everything I ever wanted. Who in here is familiar with the classic Vanias? So like, I mean, I probably won't do it like right away or anything, but when I do that series playthrough, I was like, obviously I know 1 through 4 and all that. I'll probably replay 4, fuck it. It's like the one classic Vania I've played. Might as well just slap her in, right? Keep it fresh. It's a good one. And then I like Rondo and all that, but that's where it starts getting weird. What are the ones post or around Rondo that are like I don't know if I want to do like a play every single classic Vania, because there's some fucking shit classic Vanias, some like Game Boy ones and all that from what I understand. What's up, Outcast? And I'm like, do I want to do one of those series playthroughs, or do I just want to hit the highlights? Okay. I don't know if anybody's familiar with like, there really is that many. Like, how many are like hidden gems, or if like half of them are torture, like the X games. Well, I'm not doing. The one thing I don't do in these series playthroughs is like fucking wacky ass ports. I'll do remakes. There is like a Rondo remake on PSP, I think. Or maybe I'd put that. Yeah, fuck that. Because even in the Mega Man Classic series playthrough, like some of those like retooled the levels to, you know, make work better with Game Boy. And I'm like, I didn't touch that. I just played 5 on Game Boy, which was its own game. I mean, I played Extreme 1 for X, which is just taking the levels and slapping them into a Game Boy, and that fucking sucked. There's just no point even playing something like that anymore on Game Boy. If it's not original stuff made for the Game Boy, playing like a pseudo port is just like, it made sense back in the day because you just couldn't play it. Nowadays there's like, you know, you can play it on the go nowadays. It's like, why would you ever play a shittier version of something? So you're just really morbidly curious, and at that point you might as well whip out a fucking YouTube video, man. Yeah, you're probably right. I am gonna play like the Japanese translated version with the map and everything of 2. I know that most people play the fucked, shitty localized Simon's Quest. I don't give a fuck. It's like, yeah, that's I guess part of an experience I'll miss out on, but it's also like so far from the intended experience that I think it might be more interesting to hear from people who did get their balls blown up by like the original Simon's Quest, seeing a version that's like not rancid. I mean, maybe it still sucks, I don't know on that front, but I don't know much about all the music stuff. I haven't like finalized any stuff or picked up everything. I just know that originally it came with a map, like a paper map, and that the localization was very fucked, and obviously it's a game about like text clues and stuff just to figure out where to go. That makes for a very different experience. I think the new translation, like the map might just be like in-game. That's fine too. I mean, I can live on that. And then I'd probably play, I think, the Japanese version of 3, was it? One of the Western versions gets like slaughtered, I think in difficulty maybe. I don't know why. I don't know if it's like another rental buster thing or what, but kind of like with Ninja Gaiden. It's like the Western versions are like way harder, but like in the shittiest ways where it's like weird like checkpoint systems and stuff. So I might do that with 3 as well. I think it'll at least be fresh and then also less torture created by some shitty North American localizer. So are they already here, or are we putting in a password for the bad guy to come in and fuck this shit up? They don't really have the personalities of who they used to be, do they? I gotta say, overall, also in this game, I know I'm being extremely positive already about it, but the story's really not that great in this one. It's not like the X games where it's like incomprehensible bullshit, because it's just so low quality, but like, kind of dull in this one. You know, that might be like, well, whatever, that's pretty common, but like the Zero series, especially 3 and 4, not too bad. There were some hits. I felt some emotion in some of them, some goosebumps, a couple lines that were cool, man. I was like, oh shit. Not too bad at all. And you know, how they follow up the X games, and the amount of story, and like how does some of the theming of the levels kind of match like the idea of what's going on in the story. You know, basic storytelling video game shit. Like, yeah, it was cool. So for them to kind of follow up with this one, which is just kind of like chosen one, like your random jackass friend dies, and now you're gonna take down the bad guys because in his memory and for justice and all this. It's kind of like, all right, like okay. I mean, there's really not even much that happens throughout the game, which, I mean, would be fine. That's why the story's not a big deal being bad in the X games, is just not in the way, right? This game has a lot in the beginning. It's just one of those things where it's like, it's a little disappointing. Yeah, right. Final key assembled. Whoa. But yeah, it was just one of the positives of the Zero games. You know, another, not a big L, but yeah, like a lowercase L. Damn, they brought this motherfucker back with the vengeance, man. I was like, oh, they're just gonna use this guy from 04 once. And they brought him back 3 times in a row in short order if you do that last level. It's fun. I mean, he's fun. He's not like boring. Like I said, the gameplay is not like bad or anything. It's just kind of like sort of funny. It's not like I'm gonna like I don't mind like good asset reuse. It's not like I'm gonna be like super jazzed. Because those are the 3 dragons in the last game. I need to start cutting those. I care about the loot. What's going on down here? I held down the button. I think you have to re-press the button to do it, not just hold it. I guess float mechanics weren't really super popular yet. Nowadays it's like, intuitively people just know you just hold the button. Just at any time, right? Maybe it's after a double jump. In this you have to like repress it to activate the float. A little fucking weird, but blame it on myself. I do prefer the hold, it's just a more intuitive thing, but not like a huge deal. Not as bad as like this not being like an 8 direction, like being an 8 direction grid instead of a fucking circle. But I mean that's every Mega Man game. That this at least pauses the game and lets you like adjust it on the fly instead of going into the like a full menu is already kind of an improvement, but I mean orbiting sprite is cool, mind you, but it is slow. You also have a touchscreen you can use, which, you know, I'm not going to be able to use it really. I mean, I do have a cursor with the right stick, but I'm not going to blame them for not having, like, you know, non-touch control things. Like, you know, on the DS that would just be better. It's just a shortcut. I think so. Yeah, I mean, it was a problem I had with all the Zero games, is that they have the ability to have modifier like hotkeys where you hold something and then, you know, that opens up 4 more buttons or more, but they just don't use it. You can use it, but all it is like, would you rather use your sub-weapon by pressing 1 button or 2 buttons? And it's like, of course 1 button. But let me swap my sub-weapon with 2 buttons. This game doesn't have extra sub-weapons, so it's not a big deal there. Never run into that issue. And I actually do use these other forms, but usually when I'm required to, other than this form, which is just obviously more interesting to run around with. But, kind of funny that they just never ever quite figure that out. Yeah, it's one of their like kind of failings. They'll like, you know, coincidentally, like you don't have to worry about the sub-weapon setup in this because this has like a like an X classic weapon system, and you know they improved that system by having the game pause and have it all be out of menus. If you want, you can go into the menus still, but you still have to transform. That doesn't really change anything. Like you might as well do it this way. It's quicker. But I mean, then you know there's like improvements to that system too. Maybe it's just a thing where it's like at this point, like super flow, like gameplay is not really like maybe it's obvious. But the thing is, like there are like really flowy games I feel like are already well out at this point into the 2D world. So I don't know. I mean, you can get flowing and your Metroids, or your Donkey Kong countries, or anything like that, like any Mario's. I mean, it's kind of one of those things where it's like, I don't think letting a menu or a button combination get in your way is ever good in a game where it just feels better to just keep rocking. It was a bigger problem in the Zeros. Mind you, I think the Zero games are good. Because you would have things like grappling hooks and pogo sticks that you couldn't use at any time. You had to manually go into a menu and swap to them, and they're worse for combat by a lot. They're less fun for combat by a good bit, so it's like, you know, I'm missing out on move tech, which would be fun to move through levels. for like nothing. And the thing is, like, they already solved it kind of in like the X4 and shit. Which is weird that the Zero games don't have it, but it's like, I mean, they do. You start getting different upgrades, but it's like you just, you know, that you do like fighting game inputs, or you do like, you hold up and then press a button, or hold down and press a button. It's like, let the sub weapon swap be a button, and then I can do something, right? Granted, it, like I said, the issue is like less and less of a deal because they started just giving you more moves to play around with anyways. Granted, you get so many of them so late that you never really like muscle memory them and feel the juice on them, but it makes yours replay. Not evil guy. Who form a bottle W? No. Pandora and Prometheus. Haven. Hopefully no boss rush in this game, but it's so tedious. And if there's any possibility they've been doing it to fucking squeeze some more game time out of you, then it ain't gonna stop here. You can squeeze a little extra damage out with the spin, but it's such a risky maneuver. Interesting place to start that. I just use the ZX form usually. Maybe I could like use some weaknesses here. I could fish for one. Could try. Because most of your forms are melee. Inherently are kind of like, I mean, the melee doing more damage helps keep it worth the risk, but I mean it is riskier. Right? Even this is like close range when charged up. Hello? Yeah, that was really bad in the X games. It's usually not too often in the Zero games comparatively. The Zero games have much better boss design in general. But yeah, gratuitous wall jumping. This game has a bit more. Maybe it's because the X part of the Zero, the ZX. Maybe they felt they had to. looks like an infection, yeah. It was obnoxious in some of the early X games. Despite those being some of the better ones, I was like, okay, brother. Like, I'm spending like 90... Like, I get that this is like one of the big new things for the game, right? Like, jumping on fucking walls, but I'm like, this is like trying to take your, you know, your gimmick all the way to the bank. Like, let's just tone it back a bit, man. Zero games are a lot better about it. A lot of bosses need you to dodge by like dashing underneath them or doing little things. The upper left corner of the fucking stage is not always like the best place to be. You get to the wall faster, yeah. The Zero games are much better about it. In fact, like Zero 1, I did it with no upgrades. And it was very fun, just because the boss fights, other than having the screen space problem, a lot of enemies will start doing stuff off screen because it's Game Boy Advance. This would be a little goofy. This one's probably the most jumping around so far. But the Mega Man Zero boss is like, I usually don't want to use the sub tanks half the time because they're fun to learn. Granted, the sub tanks are take a while to grind in this, so I'm not using them anyways. The western region of Area D. Yeah, some of them could be a little tricky, but it usually didn't feel like it was like bullshit. Or they're just like extremely aggressive to like a crazy extent, and like you just didn't have the movement ability to take care of it, so you had to resort to like cheesy, like wall jump, dodging. Like I feel like I could tango a bit, right? Just because there's the amount of time in between attacks and like the height and frequency of like, you know, how the projectiles come in. It's just a little bit cleaner. But yeah, there are some. I mean, I don't mind having to use the wall just a reasonable amount. The problem with the X games is you're on that fucking wall. It's like a fucking Spider-Man game. You're at least on a blind playthrough, you are married to the wall. You're fused to the wall in like every fight. Especially the early ones, because it's like the new thing, right? It's like the fucking wall. You can jump up the wall. It's new. You can't do that in Mega Man. Which is funny. Yeah, because like Mega Man Classic, it's like, you ain't jumping up no walls, bro. You gotta tango with that fucking boss, man. Usually. Or slide. Use your web. I mean, usually you just shut the fucker down. But what is in this room? This better not be that super. Area N. Maybe we're coming back here later. Yeah, I'm not. If they tell me to come here, I'll come here. I'm not adding any bullshit on. Area O. Yeah, the Rainbow Devil's a little... I thought he was gonna be like in every game, he's just in 2 of them. He's interesting, yeah. There's a few attacks in the Zeros that is like, I just feel like kind of like some bullshit, but you eventually learn that it's like, they're usually not. Yeah, no devils here. The worst is when they bought back the devil for, fucking X5, bro. That was the hardest boss in the game. Just the Shadow Devil. Right, dude. We don't like them there devils. I don't know which direction I'm supposed to be going. They said I'm going to O to repel the army. You'd assume that means towards the town, but I don't want to go that direction quite yet. The Serpent HQ is this way. They might want me to go this after, but this shouldn't take long to check. Oh, there we go. Never been here. So I thought I was getting side loot up here. I was on my way to the HQ. How are my tanks looking? We could go for the last tank, but I don't think I want to dedicate over an hour to the most boring, tedious run back through the same level like 6 times, so I think we'll be fine without it, unless the difficulty spike is obscene. Hey, good look at Crowley, buddy. What a fucking boring ass mini boss. He's just making fun of me talking about the Yellow Devil, and the Rainbow Devil, and the Shadow Devil. Charge up more. Doing 1, 2, 3 combos, I don't think does as much damage in this one, or it just doesn't feel like it. Everyone's here. Yeah, I would say the big thing in the level design in this game is the enemy density is fucking crazy. I thought I was like overreacting because I was just kind of, you know, being down on the game in general. This part right here for sure solidifies it. This game has a fucking lot of enemies. The time to kill is pretty good, so that helps. It's not like X3 where they take like an hour to kill a piece, but like there's a lot of fucking dudes, bro. And it's not like X4 where you're like a human Beyblade, or I guess a robotic Beyblade. These Beyblades are already kind of. You know what I mean? A Beyblade death machine. Some kind. But like, there's a lot of guys still. You still fuck around a lot. Just the amount of fucking kills, bro. It can be a little much here and there. Granted, I mean, what else are you gonna do? It's not like there's like crazy move tech and interesting like cool ways you could deal with enemies when you just gotta like take them out. It can be a little, just a touch sluggish, just a little. But if everything else was better, I wouldn't even probably think twice about it, frankly. Or if, yeah, I was feeling weird about the map, you know. At least now we're just into shit. Was questionable first time. Questionable second time. At least it wasn't annoying. Is it the other guy now? The Mega Man. Two people? I remember all the moves. Damn, this time I don't even got the wall, man. That actually makes this way trickier. I'm not gonna use it yet. Been learning some shit. Especially because, like I said, filling these sub-tanks, that whole fucking entire trip, I still didn't even fill a sub-tank, and I didn't even use one last time. I've never had full sub-tanks. This one doesn't do the overflow fill, which is the worst fucking thing ever, because all it does is Foster grinding. But, you know, this is also the most fucking like tedious thing I do. That attack is such a bitch. Not having the wall makes it hard. I don't even know you can blow those up. What the fuck? I don't even know if that's worth it. How the fuck did I take that out last time? Oh shoot. Or I just kill myself? I don't know if these bosses have weaknesses. I think they would, but I don't know. It didn't seem like they worked last time. Problem is, like, you'd have to be swapping every fucking attack. Yeah, they just have all the elements. Not really anything going on there. There's no guarantee that they will use every attack. It's totally random what attack they'll do next in this game, from what it looks like. Because I've had a boss who's like just done the same attack every single fucking time they can attack. That's when you get like their worst attack all the time. This attack being the worst attack. Okay, at least I know now you can do that. This one's like 3 comparatively. Oh, some of her attacks are like, I almost feel like to punish them or they're meant to be on the wall. Like her lightning one. So if she does that, you just don't get damage. It's just like a guaranteed dodge you have to do. And those skulls take like a metric shit ton of damage to open up. I think breaking one's probably enough. Just gotta get a feel for it. Forget you take contact damage from him. Okay. That's happening. New tech. idea what's going on there. Sub-tank here. Pretty long fight. I can get that much back. Do I ever get to attack again? I like how they just literally just pick up their conversation like that fight didn't fucking happen. Also, this is the worst line I've fucking ever read. This is some fucking like anime trope or Marvel bullshit. The Mega Men must fight until only one remains is destined. Trying to make like some kind of prophetic or some kind of destiny fate thing around just fighting robot masters or some bullshit, right? Like never intended to be anything like that. The Mega Men must fight. Is sport who? Sigma or not Wiley. Oh, I can't believe it's in the most obvious place. Okay, cool. I would like to juice up my sub-tanks. I like how they can't even afford to do that for me in this fucking little podunk piece of shit place. Like, what do these people do? They don't do anything. We can go find a way to fill up this tank. On the way. You can abuse the checkpoint system to hopefully get a little bit better of a fill. Save, grab some shit, save again, go blow yourself up. Overflow was enough, then I would care enough. Okay, now it's like it's over. I'm not feeling the tank at all. These things just don't. They just don't drop. Kind of like have to find a which way. And there are some to be found. so aggressive. Good luck, them. Fill my tank, no. G1. Not on fire. Wow. Go ahead and do that just to keep my health high. I can farm this guy for... taking me back to the early X days, man. Never had to do this even a single time in the Zero game. Because there's no overfill and because of the aggression on enemies, generally just, and the amount of them, you're just taking a lot of damage. You just never fill this up. The dream is to find one. And then like blow yourself up and like a big one and then go back. But how much do these fill? I just want to know, I just want to make sure before we go ahead that I do so. At least this one does the thing that only the Zero games do. Then if it doesn't use the full tank, it just uses what you need out of the tanks. That's nice. Although I don't know if it fills up more based on how much life you have. Maybe. Yeah. Let's go back. We have to go all the way back to the beginning of the... Oh, all the way there. Pretty sure it's just like right to the left of the save point. Can heal you, but it can't fill a sub tank. Oh, we agree. Music up. I have a fucking combat elevator. Blaster just does more than the sword, man. Just, if that's ever been the case before. Wouldn't that beat the whole point? Sword's like way more risky. Damn, we're jamming? A little bit of jamming. One of these teleporters. Fucking course, man. Shoot fucking balls off. Yeah, some fucking court bullshit. Shut the fuck up. What were you weak to? Lightning, so nice. I'd say for weaknesses, they good. not bother. Luckily the brushes don't actually. Not with the checkpoints. Like I said, this game would be even more tedious with the life system, because it does have a life system. The collection lets you just have checkpoints. It would be even worse if I had to go back like even farther every time you died. Jesus. Talk about adding a little extra tedium to the mix. I don't know how you dodge that. I know how you dodge that one, but I don't know if I ever figured out the tornado one. Leaving? What happened? Oh, we just go back up the fucking... Just wonderful. Just wondrous. We are Fortnite? Oh, sorry, I missed the context on that. I had to reload my chat room. I am John Fortnite. Is Mega Man in Fortnite yet? I'm pretty sure like Chris and Jill are and all that, but I don't know. Is Mega Man cool enough to be in Fortnite? I don't know if he's relevant enough for even that. Oh yeah. When is the battle royale for Mega Man? We had Sonic's got what's that fucking game with the little jelly bean guys? They made one of those for Sonic, man. Mega Man could get a battle royale. I was about to say Among Us, not Among Us. All guys. Mega Men must fight one to one man. Banger line, dude. It's an interesting choice having Mega Men be like an actual in-world term, not just like, you know, some guy's name or his like type. Every power being in melee range and not actually being a weakness half the time kind of makes it although maybe it does weakness damage even if it's not the super version. That will take forever to do this. How big is this fucker's hitbox? Like he like is and he isn't all at the same time, like massive. I feel like it's always easier to just play fucking Axe, dude. XZX. Like, I can just fucking shoot, does a lot of damage, it's just always the boss killer. Crazy ass fucking damage. Freeze the walls, man. Fucking contact damage on this guy, man. He's like the fucking size of the room, man. Freezing the wall. Yeah, he freezes. Made too much use of it, bro. I mean, you could kill him pretty goddamn quick with the water jet. Level 1. Hell yeah. We must evolve. Maturity, youth. He's obsessed, man. Dude's gonna be bathing in a fucking tub of virgin blood, man. Eternal youth! Are we not done here? Oh. Okay, I guess we're done with the elevator. Elizabeth Bathory really do that shit, man. My video games lied to me. Old tub of blood. I'm sure somebody has. Whether it was for trying to keep your youth going or just because they like a tub of blood, I don't know. I'm sure somebody has. Blubba blubba. This guy wasn't too bad, but I have no health. And I'm gonna scream. This was his worst attack. Gotta grab. Shut up. All these damn robots are yappers. Is the 6th guy or the 8th guy? I think we're at 6. Main protagonist syndrome, right? Wish I could just fucking heal up before we go in here. That's the thing, is this is a boss rush with no heals in between. They were just like, fuck it, I guess, bro. The heals in between each fight were pussy shit in the other games. It's fine because it's a checkpoint system, but what it means is if, I mean, you know, I end up not healing, so I gotta go in and die. Which is whatever, I mean, I could just but also like, I already don't care for the boss rush. New attack. The P variants. Makes sense, yeah, the Phantom ones. One more Satin than any of the last games would indicate to be the finale. Still have a few phases. I won't use any tanks until I feel confident. Well, I could use tanks. The checkpoint system. It saves how many tanks you had when you walked in at the checkpoints. That means I can actually learn the fight a bit. Because in the X games, you know, I was playing the classic versions. I'd only use a tank when I thought this could be the attack. Because you had to refill them otherwise. And well, they were a grind to refill, or you had to redo the entire, like, last hour. I'm sneezing. Monkey Man. Ook. Take you down with one hit. Alright. Level 4 victory. Huh. Cool. I don't know where his weakness is. I figured it's his like hands, but must have missed. Got lucky there. More ammo on something I won't use because I prefer the ZX fucking kit. Yeah, first level 4. Well, I bought a couple level 4s already. But that was my first level 4 fight. Yeah. It's not my first level 4 ammo. Alright. I doubt I'll be. I should probably save my time. Just blow myself up. Good try. There it is. Cool if he shot the missiles. I don't know if he actually shoots them or if they just come down on you. He shoots the big one, which is cool. I like the gimmick on this fight. Creative ones. Oh, hit the weak points over here. It's good because I don't wanna I gotta get the damage out of this fight. Pansies. Yeah, I think he's cute. I mean, not like he looks good with the fight. Playing with the standing on the, instead of jumping around, it's like managing, I guess, where he is and getting underneath him. And the missile's a cool little set piece. You get to rush to the other side before it goes off. It's not like a crazy cool fight, but he's more memorable than like Joe Blow. Guy with claws who jumps around kind of deal. Just gonna skip over all these guys. Putting 20 dudes on top of your platform. Slows her down. I mean, I guess we could sit here for like 10 hours. Wait. Deja vu here. My god, the cyber elves. Leave him in there, SM. On the grind for another one of these motherfuckers. It's like an organ. Church organ of cyber elves. They're fright. Is this guy evil, bros? The fear of the innocent baby elves. That's what powers the machine. I mean, at least they're not trying to, like... No, they have sentience. Pretty covered in these, yeah. They specifically say in this one, too. That's why it's like, you get a bad rating if you, like, murder them to get, like, a bonus or whatever, even though that's, like, what they're supposed to do, I guess. It's kind of a weird deal. Unless something's changed, they say they have sentience in this one. I don't imagine anything has changed big time, but I guess it's been 100, 200 years. Granted, the story is much shittier in this. Also, they turned people into cyber elves in this. They got digitized. Jesus, they're waxing tropey fucking philosophy here. We have to justify the big worldwide fight. Gutsman. Gutsman's ass. Guess we might as well use one. Surely this is... I mean, this is not the last phase, it's the last fight. He is a fighting game character. Well, who's the most fighting game character? Magma Dragoon? Is that his name? Where he's like literally yelling out fucking Shoryukens and Hadoukens and shit. And X4. Oh yeah, this guy though, that's pretty game. Jesus. The emotions. Hate. My god, the hate. Of course. Cockless. Another new age. Dude, every time they say Mega Man, I die just a little bit. It's turning like an Evangelion creature. Oh, he does look like a One Punch Man fucking guy. You think you are the Mega Man? No, we are the Mega Man. Me and my friends, we all are Mega Man. They change writers? I feel like they change writers. They just got like the world's most generic RPG writer. It's about sophistry and bullshit. At the end of throughout this game and at the end of it. What happened to fucking I am Zero? All that shit, dude. That was fucking canon. Just little bits of playing at the characters, some of their personality or weaknesses, and then just having cool fucking paydays. Fucking chosen one. Not even supersonic form, bro. Who is the real Mega Man? I'm the Megaist Man. Like the new Star Wars. You want to be the Mega Man that's going to struggle? I'll be the Mega Man to save it. I am all of the Mega Men. Really interesting stuff here. Yes, the boss needs to be able to heal himself. How am I supposed to hit this motherfucker, man? Jesus fucking Christ. I'll swap to the fucking other front. You just have to do like full charges, I guess. Like this right now. What's fucking going on, bro? Eating a fucking orange bread. Really? One health? How many fucking invincibility frames does this motherfucker get? Jeez, I should have just used the last heal. Oh, shit. Christ, man, this guy's just fucking healing himself. These are some long ass fights too. Not as long as like X4 is sitting in phase 3. One of those shitty. What is it about the Zero series about the first phase being like an off-screen nightmare fight? Like you can't see like half of what's going on ever. Yeah, you just don't make the fight like that. Yeah, like I get it's a specific type of fight, but it's like lame. And it's always like the first phase. Like Copy X is the same way. God, this shit where it's like it just stops you from jumping is so obnoxious. If you're prone to epilepsy, you're looking to have a seizure. It's a pretty good one. His game. Who? Man who made Model W. Oh. Palpatine? Yeah, they leave it off for Advent? I feel like there's not a third phase, bro. Damn, big about of the city. Jesus Christ, how big was that goddamn building? Yeah, fucking billions dead, bro. Somehow the humans will still fall for the propaganda. Don't worry. The economy's gonna get better, bros. Even though I just got hit by a giant lotus petal. It'll be all okay. Dude, the dialogue in this is fucking weird shit. All this like philosophical sophistry mumbo jumbo. Just fucking lame as hell, man. It's trying to be like big. It's almost like pretentious, right? Where it's like trying to act like it's more grand and deep than it is. person who died. Destiny comes from the concept of destined or directing something towards a given end. I learned that in Merriam-Webster's dictionary. Recreate the world. Oh God. Next, they turn you into a Christmas ornament, bro. What happened? Exactly, dude. No lessons should be learned. That's what I mean. It's like, it's just that crap. Like, I mean, you get what they're going for, where it's like, don't be shackled by your ancestry or the problems or some bullshit. Like, you know, it's like a state of mind. But it's like, it's just like goofy nonsense. when you read what they're actually saying, it's just like history and origin and where things came from and how we got here. It's pointless. It's like the dumbest fucking advice. Hey, the guys who didn't do anything at all. They couldn't even tell me where the fucking zones were I was supposed to go to, even though they knew in the quest descriptions. Fucking appreciate it, dude. They're in a fucking airship. Could just drop me off. Just glazing over on the dialogue. I do like my color palette change. Gold and black and white's cool. Alright. Well, I mean, it's got its fun. I liked learning the bosses. There's a nice little bit of challenge. Not too crazy, you didn't have to learn too much, but most of the bosses didn't have anything like super annoying. Maybe there'd be some weird periods of invincibility or like off-screen bullshit. This boss kind of was kind of like Zeroathon. I feel like I wonder if that was like on purpose a little bit. Or maybe just all the Mega Man X and Zero games end up... Maybe they just accidentally end up with the same type of boss through the nature of the game. First is the fight where you fight him on the ground and he's like jumping around and shit, then he turns into the big dude with 2 fucking hands and it's like, you know, like fucking bunch of bosses, final bosses and X are that way. The very first boss of the fucking first game is, or the very final boss of the first game, well, you fight a dog and then you fight the guy on the ground and then you fight the big dude with the fucking hands, right? And then in 0-1 you fight the guy on the ground, then you fight the dude with the big hands, and then it was like, they're nice cutscenes. I don't know much about ACAT. I think for the collection they actually took the cutscenes and obviously not like compressed DS versions. Oh yeah, they're fine in this, but I mean, they're very small, just quick little blasts, right? Got them on the cheap, dude. I mean, this was what, 2007? I don't know how bad they were 20 years ago. But yeah, so I like the bosses. Generally, the stages were fine. There's some goofy, weird shit here and there. some of the like branching pathways could be kind of whatever, but just going through 2006, just going through the stages, you know, just like you would in a normal Zero game, totally fine, fun enough. The art was clean. Obviously, the art's not as good as like X4 or anything, but I don't know if that's just a power deal or what. Yeah, it's probably totally different deal. But yeah, so those elements are cool. You know, some of the tunes, some of the visuals, like it's all fine. You know, they're distinct areas and shit. You know, not getting the blood pumping musically or anything, but honestly, a lot of the X and Zero stuff hasn't. But the big thing to talk about is just the structure. Oh well, also the forms. The forms were cool. I'm trying to get through the good stuff. Right? Well, you know, the forms are cool in theory. I like them better than just like plain powers, but swapping them quickly, finding meaning to use them because they're kind of mostly melee and kind of awkward to use. Um, like you know, Leviathan has the dragon, but it's like what boss is gonna wait for that dragon? You know, the bosses just work better when you're keeping up constant charges and moving around a lot. So I don't know when you're running around in areas. It's cool to have the extra jump on the green form. Other than that, though, they're pretty much all ignorable, and you just kind of use zero. So I like the idea. I don't know if I love the execution, but it's still probably better than like sub weapons I'm not really using. Um, but where they fail, and the largest part is where the rest of the game fails, which is Metroidvania map design, structure, everything involving that is just fucking bad. Right? From the UI to the maps, not knowing where the fuck anything is, where everything connects, which would be fine if they let you just explore, but because of the quest structure where you have to like pick up quests, you abandon it and you lose progress, and how little fast travel there is, so you have to go back through areas back and forth to pick up the quest. Every side quest counts. You can only have one quest at a time, so every side quest is that way too. All that stuff coupled with extremely linear level design. Now, yeah, maybe there's some branching, but like the actual second to second is like Mega Man linear, right? You're not flowing into a bunch of weird explorable passageways and shit. You know, they're like super vertical. It's an obstacle course, um, which tends to not always be the best for Metroidvania stuff. So you get that problem, makes the levels annoying to go back through. It means that you're generally, because most of the level is spoked out from like a center, you know, 4 zones. That you'll be going through those zones a lot. You'll be just running through the city, doing nothing a lot. And since they're very long levels, it's a lot of just hoofing it. Um, the enemy density in this game too. That means it's gonna be taking a lot of chip damage. You're gonna, you know, waste a lot of time doing that. And then it's like, so you get all that, and the powers aren't really that useful for just like moving around in a different way. So you go back to these areas and you're pretty much exactly the same as you were before. There's only 4 health pickups in like the whole fucking game. You get this whole map. They're like, oh, we're gonna do a Metroidvania and have the least amount of pickups in the entire series out in the field, pretty much, right? Like, it's crazy. You can pick up 3 sub tanks and like 4 health pickups. Otherwise, it's just all lore. Um, it's like, so there's nothing to find. There's no new way to recontextualize stuff with new mechanics. The way all of the side quests and the fucking like main quest structure works, it's super tedious and you have to go back and forth a million times. There's a side quest I skipped for a sub tank where you have to go back to the same area. You have to go through the whole zone backwards or forwards. If you go forwards, you have to go through another zone like 6 times and go back and talk to the same person between every quest. I'm like, bro, no. This guy said it took him like 50 minutes. I'm like, no, bro. The side quest design is super boring. You know, it's just go grab like five. It's not even five boar asses. It's just like a rock. I'm literally grabbing rocks, like one flower in the middle of nowhere. I don't fight anything cool for it. I just go there. Right. I get paid in credits. I get crystals. All the crystals do is give you ammo for forms that, in my opinion, are fucking not really that useful. Like, you know, I try to find the weaknesses. I try to use these forms. They're generally not like, they're not that juicy, right? Like, so it's like I don't need more ammo. It's like that's one of the big things you find. It just doesn't feel that good. Yeah, yeah, the bullshit like that, where it's like you run all the way back like 10 minutes, and then they're like, "Ooh, not my, it was my pet, not my actual mushroom." What the fuck ever, yeah. So it's a lot of compounding issues, right? So the forms suck more because there's nothing cool to use them in, but then they also don't really have that much stuff that recontextualizes what's pretty boring linear level. It's bad quest structure. It's anti-freedom of exploration because you have to keep going back and forth to pick up stuff. You can't just go to a place, explore it on the spot, and solve the problem. You know, I tried that at the beginning. You could go 75% of the way through the level and there's nothing there except enemies. And then you leave, go pick up the fucking quest, and then all of a sudden there's people burning in the fucking buildings that were already on fire, and it's like, why not just have it be different? You know, so stuff like that. It doesn't work. There's nothing to find. It's pretty much the worst way you could do a Metroidvania, and I think it was a fatal error in this game to not just make it another Zero game where you just run through levels. Um, they clearly thought they wanted to do this kind of thing since the first Zero, because it kind of does it too, but you could just warp to the start of the next zone. You pick a mission and it just puts you there, even though you could technically walk out and go to it or something. Um, but like, and the thing is, like, you could understand maybe if they try to do this like a couple generations before, but like some of the best Metroidvanias in the business still to this day are already been out for a bit. Like, you know, like it's like there's like some of the Metroids, some of the Castlevanias that popularized, you know, the genre that they're still making. Like the devs are still like Bloodstained is they're still making games just like the Igavanias because of like how solid they were. Right? Like Bloodstained wouldn't exist without 50 ones that are kind of better than it on the DS and Game Boy Advance and shit. You know, and it's like I don't know what they're thinking. The I think the as far as like big budget or like big name Metroidvanias, I only Kirby and the Amazing Mirror I think has had a structure about as fucking horrible as this that I can think of. Right? There's a bunch of little indies that probably fuck it up a bit, but I don't know. Really, this is pretty bad. This is a pretty bad way to do it. I'm sure there's something out there I haven't played that fucks up pretty hard, but it was just not a good idea. Well, it's a good idea, but just they had none of the execution. Like, what is the point of like a Metroidvania? It's about agency of exploration. It's about empowerment. You know, getting stronger, finding lots of upgrades. You know, empowerment through actual power, like your ability to kill shit, your ability to weave new moves together, how cool you look, or just like, you know, how you can go back through a zone in a different way, right? It is about backtracking, exploration. Really, he's a cool dude, man, but I don't want to talk for an hour right now about bullshit. Hear that fucking knock, man. Anyways, yeah, so I just think, and this just doesn't have that. There's nothing to find. There's no way you don't move differently. You don't feel much more. You don't feel very powerful because you don't really upgrade anything special. The biggest upgrade system in the game is ammo, and I mean, you think back to like Metroid, and that's one of the weaker upgrades already. But I mean, at least it feels a little more interesting. picking up some missiles, but they don't even have like filler ones like that in this, right? It's just like lore, not interesting lore. And then there's that too. It's like there's no like story driver. There's no immersion in the world. I'm going from the top of a mountain. I walk in a door and I'm in a dump. Okay, I'm going from X zone. It's like a fucking Dark Souls 2 thing. It's like I'm in like the ocean and I walk in a door and I'm in the fire volcano. And it's like, okay. But there's no sense of like place or the world. And the story is so much more like fucking talking and like I said, like sophistry or whatever the fuck. And just, it's like pretentious almost, like kind of tropey JRPG stuff. I mean, I love JRPGs, but I mean, that is what it is, right? At the end of the game, where the guy's spouting his ideals about how he's gonna rework the world and blah blah blah, and you're just like me, but because you have some kind of like blood origin. Like whatever. What a weird follow up. Like it's a followable game. I mean, in that way, the story's better than the X games, but that's like saying the meal I made is better than gonna taste better than the shit I took. Like obviously, but it doesn't really say anything about the food, right? So it's one of those things like the 3 and 4. I mean, most of the Zero games have pretty cool stories. There's some moments I really liked, and the characterization that was fun. It was a fun story that was nice to see pop up to go with a good game, right? Kind of like X4, the story sucks, but the presentation of it and the voice acting's so funny bad that like it was always a treat. It just doesn't have that. It's like eye rollingly roll. It just sucks. No. I don't know. Yeah, I think there's just enough bad stuff here that's way too important to the game that it kind of just hurts the big shit, right? Like there's good stuff, but like it's all it's like hard to enjoy it when it's like they've already kind of chipped away at your patience and in general enjoyment. It's like the last few areas were totally fine. Like since I started the stream, we didn't have to deal with much of the bad stuff, but eh, it's like the damage is already done, man. I didn't even do probably 2/3 of the side quest. Anyways, what I'm hoping from was the X Advent, the sequel. Obviously better UI map. Um, I'm hoping for actual abilities, more stuff to find, abilities that let me focus on interesting exploration or movement through more interconnected zone. Less linear Mega Man style levels outside of certain instances, right? That makes sense. At least not ones that I'm supposed to be backtracking through, right? It's okay to throw a Mega Man style level off a spoke of like a Metroidvania exploration bit, but I shouldn't be doing the Mega Man X1 highway as the main fucking like backtracking area. Like it's a cool reference, but it's like that's not. You don't want to redo that, man. Like it's literally running down a fucking road and you fight a few giant bees, man. Like that's not. There's nothing that's gonna change, man. So, um, I hope that changes. I hope the story is either less wordy and just simple, or they actually try to hone in on something fun. Either it be some kind of interesting lore shit or just like a fun character thing, like with Zero. I'm fine with just like a nice thriller thing, like they did in Zero games. Other than that, hopefully the bosses can stay interesting. It'd be nice to have the moves be a little bit quicker to swap to and a little bit more useful. But, basic Zero gameplay is still fun. The thing is, like, you know, basic Zero gameplay peaked, frankly, in like X4, right? When he just has all these different moves you can use. And in the Zero games, it's really good, but it's not good just because of your basic kit. It's good because the places you're going to and the fights you're fighting them with that kit in are really good, right? Generally, the bosses are better than a lot of X4 stuff, but X4 is probably the most fun to control, right? Like a Mario Sunshine thing, right? It's like probably not the best content and levels, but he feels really fucking good, right? It's kind of that sort of deal. So I'm hoping we can get a little bit better, more options for the basic zero form in the next one if the forms aren't that great. You got a few upgrades for the side forms. Like now you can start up a twister. It's like the charge attacks in the X games where they're used for like one extremely fringy use, unless you're like a pro and you know some kind of crazy like insta kill setup with something, you know, like it intuitively and casually, like you know. Anyways, that's about it. Probably a little more negative on this one than needed to be, but kind of surprising. I didn't expect to kind of. I knew this. I knew there was a chance these would be kind of a little weird, but man, I was playing into this. So, granted, I don't think it's a horrible game. I think it's still better than most of the X games, but probably I don't know. It might be sub beneath the first 4X games right now. Maybe better than. Yeah, maybe not too far off of like 1 or 3, but it's definitely there. And this is like twice the length, and not in a good way. Yeah. Next up, we'll do ZX Advent. Also, you know, I am playing these with the checkpoints. This would be great. They just talk about adding tedium on them. So I don't know much about ZX Advent. I gotta imagine it's just kind of the same deal. Not gonna start it right now. I mean, I'll boot her up here and set it up the screen. We'll see.
How's that lock coming?
Oh, we got voice.
This is one tough nut to crack. But
you're crazy on it. So yeah, I don't know. That'll probably be it for today. We'll see if I want to take like a break and do a little something else for like a day or part of a day, or just jump straight into it. I definitely would not want to start this even if I was awake enough today. I feel like I need like I said, like the stuff we did in this particular chunk of stream was fine, but because the rest of it was so fucked earlier, I'm kind of like don't really have the patience for it. So I don't really want to go into an advent like already kind of a chip on the shoulder on that. So I'm gonna take a break for now. We'll see. Maybe do something small on the side, but probably just start advent and finish the fight tomorrow. So thanks for watching, guys. Appreciate chatting and listening to all the fucking yapping. Go play the Zero games. Go play the first 4 X games, specifically X4. Don't you worry about the